So let's discuss about iterator design pattern in this video. So if you are writing codes for a while, you may have heard about the concept iteration, or you're already familiar with the iteration process. So this is basically based on a design pattern called iterator design pattern. Mostly this comes with the object-oriented programming language, and it's a behavioral design pattern which lets you traverse elements of a collection without exposing its underlying representation. What does it mean is that actually you are putting your iteration algorithm right inside a container instead of uh, using it uh, from outside. Okay, so that is basically iterative pattern. Okay, it's basically encapsulation of the algorithm, iteration algorithm. So let's check what we are gonna do about this iteration pattern in this demonstration. So I will try to make it very simple, very understandable. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create an interface iterator with two methods, two very common methods. So whenever you come across the term iteration, these two methods or the two terms actually comes inside your head, which is has next and next methods. These are the obvious methods for iterator pattern or iterator interface. And then I'm gonna implement those two methods inside a concrete class, and then use this iterator interface to iterate over a collection. Okay, and then what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna create a container interface, and then I put this hide this implementation logic uh, from outside. Okay, and then we will access this from the client application through the container interface. So that is basically what I'm gonna do in this video. So for the most part, this will be like I will implement this one first, and then reverse engineer and draw the UML diagrams and the sequence diagram alike. And so see you there. So what we have implemented is that we have declared one iterator interface, and then which has um, a few abstract methods, and we have implemented those methods inside this custom iterator class. and then we have used that iterator interface here in this client side. So client is directly interacting with this iterator interface, so which is a bit of a violation of this design pattern. So what this design pattern suggests that this iterator or the iteration related implementation should be inside a container. Okay, so that container would take care of this iterator um, interface or iteration related implementation or algorithm, um, and then this client will interact with that container in order to um, get inside this algorithm. Okay, so let's update this code a little bit. So let's create on class, sorry, interface. Let's call it container. Container, yep. And uh, let's get back to this iterator interface and then cut this out, take it to the container interface, and then let's get back to our custom iterator implementation class, which is going to definitely uh, implement this container. Okay, so now let's define one inner class, private inner class here, iterator impl, which implements the iterator interface, and let's move these overridden functions or methods within this iterator impl or iterator implementation, and fix this class references here. So I'll just put it this way, and this is going to be new iterator implementation. And what else do we have here? Ah, god damn it. So we have basically named it wrong, the file name. So it should be okay, no problem. Container. Okay, makes sense. Okay, so now let's get back to the declaration class here. Instead of iterator, now we are going to use the container. Container. So I actually misspelled that and I'm keeping it that way. Uh, and then we are going to accept the iterator. Instead of this one, I'm gonna call it what should I call it? Container. And this is going to be iterator iter container dot get iterator. As you can see that we are actually accessing this iteration algorithm through this container object, and then this it should be iter, and also this is going to be iter dot next. So regarding this one, looks good to me, and I want to put one message here. So it's going to be sysout iteration through while loop. Okay, so as you can see, it's working as expected. So let's get back, and we could actually make this a little more generic actually. Okay, so let's get back to our interfaces. So I'm going to introduce a type parameter instead of defining any type, even though object was just fine, but I really don't want to use that here. And also gonna get back to the container as well, and I'm gonna introduce the type parameter as well. So, and if I get back to our implementation class, which is going to be this way, I also need to include this one here. Okay, and what else? Do it this way, and also here. Okay, and instead of object here, what we need to do is I'm gonna replace this all with this alter. Okay, so it looks pretty generic to me. So now if I get back to the implementation class, as you can see, the warning messages are shown that we should use the type argument here. So instead of this, we could use the string uh, type parameter, and here as well, string. Okay, so okay, this way, this is one way we could do it. Another way is that it's definitely gonna give us the output, I hope. So we are getting the expected output. So instead of string, you definitely know that we could use the uh, uh, interrogation symbol, which makes more sense to me, which is more meaningful. Okay, so that's basically the regarding this implementation. So now let's reverse engineer what we have done so far. So basically, what's happening here is that we have already seen it in the implementation that we have two different interfaces. One is the container, and the one is the iterator to hold that to iterator inside this container. And we are implementing this container inside this custom iterator, and also this iterator is being implemented by this iterator implementation, and this iterator implementation has a composition relationship with the custom iterator. And so both client application is using both the container and the iterator to execute this iteration functionality based on the data set. So that is basically all about this UML diagram.